Munira, very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks very much for joining us. I know it's a bit noisy down there with all the eco-activists, but what do you make of what's happened this morning, and what's the Lib Dem view of it?
Well, Dominic Raab's clearly shown he's unfit to be a minister, and I think he's unfit to be a member of parliament. He should be resigning, standing down as an MP and causing a by-election so that the people of Esher and Walton can have their say and actually get an MP who doesn't take them for granted and who treats members of staff with respect.
Why do you think he's unfit to be an MP?
Well, I believe the report's just been published and there are references in there to intimidating and aggressive behaviour. Let's not forget this is a 5-month-long investigation by a respected barrister, a KC, who's an expert in employment law, and he has found 2 findings against Dominic Raab, which has triggered this resignation. I don't think somebody like that should be in public office serving the people of this country.
Well, he says in his letter that there has been no finding whatsoever that he swore or shouted at anyone, that he didn't throw anything at anyone, he didn't physically intimidate anyone, and he didn't intentionally seek to belittle anyone. So I like you, I haven't actually seen the specifics of the allegations that have been upheld. He says it's a very low bar. I'm not sure what the bullying actually is. Do you know?
Oh, well, no, but if his threshold is throwing things at people and swearing at people, I would say that's completely unacceptable. And if that's the threshold, then I suspect there's something fairly serious in there, because that's a high threshold, which I wouldn't even dream of behaving like that or expect anybody in any workplace to behave in that way. And that's a pretty high bar. But I think what we need to focus on now here is what Rishi Sunak knew when. Let's not forget Dominic Raab's been one of his most trusted, loyal lieutenants right from the get-go. He was there throughout his leadership campaign last summer, by his side, even when everybody knew he was going to lose. Clearly, he felt he had a debt to pay. Why did he put Dominic Raab in the position of Deputy Prime Minister and Justice Secretary if he was aware of anything? So I think Rishi Sunak's got some serious questions to answer. Let's not forget, he promised us integrity and accountability. Well, that claim is in shreds now. He's lost 3 cabinet ministers in 6 months over various allegations.
Well, isn't that because he's done what he said he would do? But to go back just briefly to the throwing things and shouting at people, the only reason he says that is because he was accused of that in various leaked pieces of information from the inquiry, which he also says is a breach of ministerial and civil service codes of conduct. So he's only saying those things. He's not saying that's the bar. He's saying he didn't do any of it, and it turns out that he was right. He didn't do any of it.
Well, look, as I said before, we've had 2 findings out of a 5-month-long independent investigation by a King's Counsel barrister who is a specialist in this area. I don't think he would have found 2 findings against Dominic Raab if there wasn't something serious to find there. So that's enough for me to say that he shouldn't be in that role of a Member of Parliament. The people of Esher and Walton deserve somebody better. And frankly, this government has just been rocked by allegation after allegation. It's just scandal after scandal. People want the government focused on the issues this country cares about, like the cost of living, the NHS, sewage, the state of our schools. So I'd really like government to get back, the ministers to get back to governing and running the country in the interest of the people, rather than just worrying about their own electoral chances.
Shouldn't you be calling for a general election then, rather than just a local one in Esher?
Well, yeah, I'd be delighted to have a general election tomorrow. But until such time as there is one called, we need one in Esher and Walton. And believe me, it's a next-door constituency to me. I was out there knocking on doors just last week, and Dominic Raab's constituents don't have a great deal of faith in him either. And I say that having spoken to some lifelong Conservative voters on the doorstep who want to see the back of him too.